Okay, Zach, come on up. I think I invited you to the stage, so. Ah, so I invited him up. Zach, are you having problems?
Yes, very much so. But I think I'm actually on the stage now.
Yeah, there you are.
Awesome. Yeah, I was having a lot of issues with that, but all right, I think I'm up now.
No
All
problem.
right. I'm gonna try to share my screen. Um, all right. Can we see the presentation?
Yep.
Awesome. All right. So I guess I'll just start. Hello. Our project is called Royal Flush. Our team members are Dennis Chow, Elo Ecor, Jen Hom, Justin Chen, Andrew Chafee, and me, Zachary Ward. So this project was actually started back in the fall of 2019 for software documentation and design by a couple of our members. The original idea of this project was to create a poker stat tracking web application. Our web application would be used alongside a live game, and as people play, actions and hands would be entered into the application. Players would then be able to view their stats and their hand histories afterwards. And so the stats are calculated based on how players play their hands and how they bet. Some examples of the stats that we collect are things like aggression and PIP. For this semester, we want to allow players to directly play poker on our web application instead of just playing alongside a live game. So for that to happen, we'll have to create a virtual table where players can be seated and play poker. Hands and actions would still be recorded, but this would happen automatically now that players are playing directly on the site. In addition to this new feature, we can hopefully revamp the overall theme and UI of the website. If most of these goals are accomplished, then we can find out poker statistics that like new poker statistics to track, and we can add those features accordingly. So in terms of our tech stack, for our front end, we're using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, and we're using the Vue framework to make things a little easier. Some of us have experience with Vue. Vue is actually used for software documentation and design by favorite members. For our backend, we're using Node and Express. And finally, we're using Mongo for our database. Our team is also broken up into two separate teams, front end and back end. Elmo, Jen, Andy, and Justin will be working on the back end, while Nick, Dennis, and I will be working on the front end. So in terms of progress, we don't have too much progress so far. Here's some things we have been able to accomplish. First off, we updated some portions of the web application so that the overall UX or user experience is smoother in general. An example of this was users can directly join a table by just inputting a code instead of a host creating a table first. Next, we started backend logic for like dealing hands, inputting actions, and joining a table. Finally, we started creating mockups for the components of the game page. That's pretty much it for Royal Flush.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Any questions for Zach while we get the next group up? It looks like it would be let's see, Matt Zier and Joshua Malek. you guys are here, could you raise your hand?
Should I exit the podium?
Yeah, I think you'll have to. I think that may have been what
Thanks.
was making it not work before. Nice job, Zach.
Thank you very much. All right.
Actually, if you just stop sharing, that would be fine. You can stay up on the podium until we get the next group in, I think.
Can you still see my screen?
No, I guess not.
Okay.
Okay, so Matt and Malek are here. Okay. If there are no questions, let's thank Zach. Clap, 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 clap. Screen's not sharing. All right. Can you guys come in now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me just figure out how to share my screen on here.
There should be, it looks like a computer with an arrow. It says start screen share.
All right, cool. All right, can you guys all see that?
Yes, we can.
Oops.
Okay, now we can.
Yeah, it looks like it just says, hang on, let me try sharing the whole screen.
Evac sim. Okay, I think going forward, what we'll do is we'll just, because we're seeming to have problems moving people in and out. So maybe what we'll do is we'll just, we'll take questions in the chat. How's that?
All right, can everyone see that now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Looks
All right,
good.
cool. All right, so my name is Matt, and I'm working with Josh on EvacSim. This is a project that was started a couple years ago for HackRPI 2019. It won second place in that competition. It's a deterministic simulation software that uses graph theory to model the effects of hurricanes and defines optimal evacuation routes for communities that are at risk. It works by first allowing users to model cities as the nodes of a graph, those have properties like the population, max capacity, and then model the infrastructure between those cities as edges with properties like travel time and also the maximum capacity. The user can then run the simulation either locally or on models they've stored in the cloud, which will run a minimum cost flow algorithm on the graph to find the optimal evacuation routes for each city. The user can then export a KML file, which can be viewed in Google Earth, and that'll display each city's evacuation route as well as its supporting data. Regarding the details and the structure of the project, it currently uses Java, Node, and Ample, although this will soon change. Its code is hosted on GitHub, and it's licensed under the MIT license. It has a very active issue tracker where we keep track of all the bugs we've identified and all the features that need to be implemented still. And there's also a discussion forum that we use to communicate about the project. Currently, we don't have a website or a testing suite, although we'll aim to have one by the end of the semester. And now I will turn over to Josh to talk about our goals.
Yeah. So when we were looking at this project, our main goal here was to move it from a hackathon project to more of a full-fledged, open source project, because the fundamental idea was good, but the nature of it being a hackathon project means it was a little more rigid in its design. It was just designed to be a proof of concept, moreover. So right now what we want to do is get everything ported over to Python and make it a lot more extensible, as well as keeping the original features of the original. We want to integrate multiple different natural disasters like earthquakes and wildfires, other than just hurricanes. And in order to do that, we need to make generic properties rather than just hurricane properties, because right now the program is a bit rigid in that sense. We wanted to get like a GUI going, a little like web front end or something simple to be able to model more than just like a Google Earth file. The Google Earth file works well. We just wanted to make it a little more easy to use so that users don't have to fully download Google Earth and that kind of stuff. And we just wanted to port it over to open source, get all our, and everything that entails, get everything set up nice and clean and open for contributors and that kind of stuff. Right now, we've ported most things over to Python. We have all the classes and everything loaded. The parsing and everything is working well. We need to get all the graph algorithms and stuff ported over. And other than that, we've got all the project infrastructure up for the open source stuff ready for contributors, and we have our issue tracker and everything well set up, so we're doing pretty well. Yeah, that's it.
Nice. So for those of you who weren't around in what you said 2019,
Yeah, 2019.
we managed to put together a hackathon, I think, in 2 weeks, from concept through to actual execution, and it was along with the IBM call for code. So this was one of our excellent projects, and you said you won second, right?
Yeah, second place overall.
Nice, very nice. Any questions? All right, I think. So remember that we know this is very preliminary. We just want to make sure that everybody has a good idea going forward. So it's okay to be preliminary. I'm going to give a little clap. I'm not sure whether anybody else can clap, but we will clap for it.
Thank you.
I like the project. All right, now we're getting some claps. I am not seeing Enver here. Enver, are you here? If not, we have Trevor Deson would be next. Trevor, are you around? If you just click on the hand raising thing, I will invite you to the stage, or somebody else can. I think the issue we were having was we had too many people up here or something, but it looks like it's working now.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. All right. I'll share my screen here.
You guys are doing a good job, by the way, just as a general thing. I know that this is not, don't be concerned that, it is not the case that that this is easy, particularly when we are, kind of half online and we haven't tested this system out and everything like that. So we're doing a good job.
Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep. Venue
Feel
new.
like they can. Okay. All right. So the project I'm working on is called Venue, or Venue New technically. I think this is a working name, but we'll see later on. What is Venue? Venue, the description on the GitHub currently is GraphQL API and UI rework for Venue. Classroom management tool that integrates QR code-based attendance and enforces asynchronous lecture recording playback. While that is a mouthful, what that actually means is this program essentially allows professors and teachers to, at the beginning of a lecture, load up a QR code that students can then scan, and teachers can use this as a way to track attendance of their students. And there also is a feature that allows for attendance to be taken asynchronously. So professors can make sure that students are indeed watching lectures, even in the time of COVID. So currently the project lead is Ethan, and then me, Dan, and Thomas are currently developers. I'm the only one in this class. This is an RCOS-based project, but yes. So currently the project, the progress on the project is fairly light. There is a license initiated, the MIT license. The project does have around 100 commits. So it's somewhat initialized, but it's not really fully figured out yet. There is an issue tracker, however, there are no issues yet. And there currently aren't any contribution guidelines, website, code of conduct, or style guidelines. There is, however, a developer Discord currently that allows developers to communicate with one another. And then, as you can see here, I took this screenshot from the GitHub regarding the language breakdown. Currently, as you can see here, it will be indeed a web project. And yeah, that's really all I got.
All right. So there have been a number of venue projects. So this is the one that I'm currently using, or is this the next one? Do you know?
This is the next one. This is the new one.
Okay.
Yep.
So for those of you who aren't familiar with Venue, Venue's been around for a while. It was originally envisioned as a remote attendance tool for things like your professor wants to give you extra credit for attending a concert in the Troy Music Hall or something. It was originally, you would take a selfie of yourself in front of some landmark and geotagged, and it would mark you as there for attendance purposes for like these extra credit things. But since COVID, it's actually been marketed more as a remote attendance for classes. You scan as Trevor said, you scan a QR code, and you get attendance. And they're working on a bunch of different improvements to it in Venue New, and it's also forked at least once. There's a group who's actually trying to market it right now on campus to different professors. So it's been a very active and very lively Darwinistic experiment. So thank you for taking this on, Trevor.
Thank you.
Any questions for Trevor? All right. Jacob Zamani and company. Why don't we kick Trevor out, and Jacob and company come on up, and we'll try to get through at least once. Well, I think this may be our last one for today. We'll do better on Friday. I'll post a list of who's set to go on Friday. We'll try to get through at least 6 groups tomorrow or Friday, maybe 7. Maybe I'll think about how we can structure the lecture and lab.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. Share my screen. All right, so
It's week
our
2.
project. Oh, week 2. Yep. Our bad. Our project is employed, and our group is we have Nicholas Arnold, me, Jacob Zamani, Thomas Arturi, and Chris Faxon. And employed is basically a community-based application where any user can go in and connect with skilled service providers to accomplish any goals they may have, or any projects they may have at home, such as any outdoor landscaping, contracting, mason, electrician, etc. So I don't have the tech stack written here, which is my mistake. But we are using React TypeScript for our front end, and for our back end, we're using C#, the .NET framework, and we have our database hosted in Microsoft Azure. So the goals for the semester is to try and basically accomplish as much of the or finish as much as a project as we can. This is an ongoing project, and we have been working on it for a few months now. So we have made a decent amount of progress, and we still have some ways to go. Those tasks being just finishing up the main pages of the application and any corresponding back-end tasks, retrieving more data, putting more endpoints in. And so this week was spent kind of refamiliarizing with the project and distributing some of the front-end pages to each of the group members for them to start either adding to and finishing, or coming up with new drawings and layouts for these pages. So I think we're right now working on the consulting, notification, search results, and settings pages for the next couple weeks. And so all of our code is organized in GitHub. We have all of our, all four of us are in our repositories right now, familiarizing with the project. And we organized our project into two separate repositories, one for the front end and one for the back end. In each repository, we have feature branches based on what we're working on. For the front end, these feature branches basically just talk about the which page we're working in. And we have issues for each of these pages going on too. And yeah, as I said before, we're kind of just starting off. We have a few commits in on a couple of our feature branches, working on our different pages, and we hope to start making more progress in the next couple of weeks as we have now completely familiarized, everybody has everything installed, and we're much more, we know our way around, or people that are new to the project know their way around. And yeah, here's our any links.
All right. Nice job. So is this for people to hire students or for students to hire contractors?
This is for anyone to hire contractors. This is kind of more of a, so we started the project as like for anybody to use. And it's similar to an Angie's List, but more of like a social media kind of layout where you look at profiles, what the contractors or service providers, like their previous projects they work on. You can make a decision on if you want to continue working with them.
All right. No, I was just curious because it almost looked like a summer employment kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there contractor work going on in the background?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. We actually, funny is we have housework going on at home, and we have contractors going through the house. So
was that the inspiration? Because that was the first thing that came to my mind was he's on the job site.
It actually was. This is our second home project going on since the pandemic started. And our first one went so horribly because we were trying to find all these people and it was just a disaster. So I thought the idea of why not try to make it easier.
Yeah, that's I love when and by the way it's 10 after so everybody can leave. We'll pick up from here with Kevin Boyles on and then Nick Yao on Friday. But that's I love when these projects start because you go in and you try to do something and it doesn't work the way you want it to. And instead of just getting angry or giving up, roll an open source project.
Yep.
Why not? Awesome. No,
exactly.
Good job. And it was like it was. If it had been canned sound effects, it couldn't have been any better. So, good job.
Thank you.
Sure. And I'll see you guys all on Friday. I think you're going to enjoy the lab. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it better when I found the linter right away, so I do apologize for that. I didn't have a chance to go back over it, but I will. I'll give you a quick demo of the linter. We'll do a couple more projects, and then we will go off into the lab. And the lab's cool. Thank you for all the presenters today. You all did a good job. You did exactly what I was hoping you would do. So much appreciated. And we will see you in a couple days. Bye.